He's going to run the ball, and if the coordinator makes a decision for him to run the ball, we're going to treat him like a running back, and we're going to hit him that way. So that's their decision if they want to get him hit the way that he gets hit. If they don't, they'll keep him in the pocket. So, but that's what we're going to do. He's going.
All right. I want to unpack this for multiple reasons. Multiple reasons. So this was a clip that was posted by CBS, NFL and CBS. And you can even see how it says Commanders DC says they'll hit Jalen Hurts as a RB if he runs the ball, right? And then the clip immediately just says, if he runs the ball, we'll listen to it again.
And if the coordinator makes a decision for him to run the ball, we're going to treat him like a running back, and we're going to hit him that way. So he's going to run the ball, and if the coordinator makes a decision.
So it makes it sound like he's talking directly about Jalen Hurts. And then a clip like this gets posted and shared. And again, this is by NFL on CBS. So this is like the official CBS NFL, social media and all of that. And then on this guy, I don't know who he is, but he's with like the local, Philadelphia news, I guess. And then if you go to, his own page, you'll see kind of what he has posted here. Commanders, DC warning to Jalen Hurts and Eagles. Commanders, and then it even says, like, in quotes, like if you actually go directly to the video, Commanders DC Joe Witt Jr. sends warning to Eagles and Jalen Hurts. We are going to hit him, in quotes. And it's like, ooh, that sounds intense. That sounds intense. Then we even have here, this is like from a post from the Philadelphia Inquirer, which is like, the local Philadelphia news. We're going to treat him like a running back, and we're going to hit him that way. Washington defensive coordinator on how the team will play against Jalen Hurts. And even the caption then for that video says, Commanders defensive coordinator, did his best to put Jalen Hurts and Kellen Moore on notice Thursday. Use Hurts as a runner at your own risk. And then, like, the emoji, whatever. And it's pretty interesting because I made a whole video breaking that down originally. But now let's listen to the whole clip. Here's now the entire clip.
Hey, Joe. How is your week different when you're preparing for a quarterback who can use his legs in the run game as opposed to a quarterback who stays in the pocket more?
Well, we've had a number of these guys that we've had to prepare for, and so the one thing is if he's going to run the ball, and if the coordinator makes a decision for him to run the ball, we're going to treat him like a running back, and we're going to hit him that way. So that's their decision if they want to get him hit the way that he gets hit. If they don't, they'll keep him in the pocket. So, but that's what we're going to do.
So you can see how misleading and manipulative some of these posts can be, and then how they spread, and how they get shared, and how they get cut up, and it's like, and it's just kind of crazy how manipulative the media can be from trusted sources. We understand that people who have ulterior motives, or people who's like, well, you don't have to trust me. Like, I'm just some random dude on, wherever. It's like the relationship that we have is not built on trust. So I'm just going to post and share whatever I want. It's up to you to figure it out. But that's not what it's supposed to be when you're talking about some of these more formal sources, institutions, however we want to categorize them. And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy because I've reviewed clips in the past, like through the herd, first things first, wherever. And I always see like a slight, so occasionally they'll show like a snippet of of something like this, kind of, in a way, right? And there's always a lot of trust that what they're showing us is like the heart of the truth. The heart of the truth. And it's so fascinating to me because I feel like trust is everything. I feel like building that trust is everything. And to be fair, I think first things first and the herd and all those, those types of sources, like, um, I think they do a good job of doing that, at least based on my knowledge of interacting with them, is that, they try to portray any of the clips that they use through a honest lens and not manipulative lens. Um, because the truth is you could probably have a very successful social media presence if you do that type of stuff, if you do that kind of like gotcha manipulative type stuff, and because that's the kind of stuff that spreads like wild, it spreads, and it's something that I never want to partake in at all, which is why I posted a video that was reacting to that little soundbite, and I thought it was a good video. It was a good video, and it was getting a lot of views. I posted it late night, and most people are watching my videos definitely more during the day, like during when normal sports talks and stuff are going on. And I easily could have just obviously let it play, get the views, get the subscribers, all that fun stuff. The comments were through the roof. It was crazy. I've never seen a comment to view ratio than that. Which is why I didn't delete the video. I have it set to private, so like no one can watch it anymore. And I just have it set to private because I'm so fascinated by it. I want to like actually like look at it and be like, how, like it's just like the data behind it is just fascinating to me. Honestly, it really is. And I want to kind of compare it to other previous videos that I've made and see like the comment rate to the view rate and the like rate. Like it's fascinating. It's a fascinating thing. That's like, why? Because then I was thinking about it and I made this video, and then I reached out to a couple subscribers who, I talk to very regularly, people who I truly trust, and that I would consider virtual friends, through this channel. And I was kind of just like, yeah, I'm curious, like, what are your guys, thoughts on this one? And I didn't hear back from them yet, unfortunately. But I was like eating food. I was like eating my dinner, and I'm recording this at 1:35 in the morning, and I was eating my food, and then I brushed my teeth and all this. I was like, I really kind of want to like record another video discussing this. I think it's like such a fascinating chain of events, because the defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles has a soundbite going around where he's saying things like, Jaden Daniels is, young only by birth certificate, like he's an extraordinary player. The film shows him being, essentially not a rookie, right? Like just nothing but positives. And yeah, it's on one side, I'm frustrated by how some of these things, how some of how the powers that be want to pit people against one another when it need not be that way. But also on the other side, I'm excited because this rivalry is about to get rejuvenated. Because for the last like 20 years, again, like the Commanders have essentially been like nothing to the Philadelphia Eagles. That's just the reality of the situation. And it's been like that for a lot of teams around the league, where a lot of these division rivals have just not really been much of anything. We constantly see these massive droughts where we see like one team or two teams ruling a division and everyone else is kind of just sputtering away. We saw that with the Patriots, and now we see that with the Bills. We saw that for a while with the Kansas City Chiefs, with the Broncos and the Raiders and the Chargers, and again, like now that's kind of coming around, and it seemingly maybe with the Bills and the Jets. You never know about the Jets, but maybe they'll start to kind of get a little momentum. Same thing now with the Patriots, potentially with Drake May and all of that. We saw the NFC North get rejuvenated, which should also be kind of this gauntlet of teams. And now you have the Eagles, and although it's kind of funny because now the Eagles have been very consistent, and now the Commanders have said like, hey, we're here now, like what's up? And now the Cowboys might drop off with some of the moves that they're making. So But it is kind of cool to see that game because, again, once upon a time, I mean, I would love to know, like, when was the last time a Commanders-Eagles game was really, like, prime time? When did they make that, like, a Monday night game or Sunday night game or Thursday night game? Like, I really couldn't remember. I mean, maybe it happened this past year, I think, actually, technically. It's because of the rookie quarterback, Jane Daniels. But I'm pretty sure I think it was a Thursday night game? I forget. And so... But you're going to start to see more of that now. Of course, after especially these two teams facing each other in the NFC Championship game, like, I would be blown away if one of those games wasn't set for a Sunday or a Monday and all of that. And that's awesome. That's awesome. That's the stuff you want to see with these exciting divisional rival games. And you want it to also feel that, like, both teams can win. Because I'm sure in the last, like, 10 years, they've made, some of these games, in, like, a big primetime game. But it was kind of just like, I don't know. It didn't feel like this. You have the two best NFC teams in the NFL right now are in the NFC East. It's the Eagles and the Commanders. And so it's just like, it made me think of how cool that will be to kind of just really get that rivalry going. But it is just so interesting to me that you can have something like a general question asked about, a philosophy on how to handle a specific football situation. It then gets kind of cut and manipulated in a way where it's kind of like, defensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders are sending message to Jalen Hurts and the Eagles and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, that wasn't necessarily the reality. I don't think it was not 100%. Like, I think there's still some message sending to a degree because he knows what he's talking about. He knows what team he's talking about. So I don't think it's like 100% just like, yeah, we're talking football here. Like he obviously is kind of doing that. But at the same time, the way how it's framed is, from my viewpoint, not necessarily as accurate as it's being portrayed to the masses. And so I wanted to take this time to kind of highlight that, to kind of emphasize that, to kind of magnify that in my own little internet bubble, because trust and all of that is incredibly important to me. Building a channel based off of like truly mutual trust, because I have various conversations with other people who are, comment a lot and subscribers, and I see them regularly in the comment section, and they'll say something to me, and there's times that I've had like, real conversations with them that we're kind of unpacking a specific topic. Usually it's about Patrick Mahomes. They're the ones that they can't let it go. And I'll say to them, like, listen, they're like, oh, like, why you hate Patrick Mahomes or something like that. And I'll be like, listen, like, we've talked a lot now. I can see you're a real person. I can see that you're, that we've had like real conversations. Like, I'm telling you, I do not hate Patrick Mahomes. And it's like, you can either trust me or not. And I will say, like, I'm trying to build a channel. I'm trying to communicate with people where if I say something, you're going to trust it. Like, you're going to believe me because I have no reason to lie to you or to try to manipulate. Like you're either going to believe me or you're not. And if you don't believe me, if you don't find me trustworthy, well then, like, I don't know, like, then, like, I don't know what to tell you. And I also don't know why you would want to even listen to me in the first place, honestly. So it's like, that level of trust is so important. I actually said this in one of my like really earlier videos, like, I guess a year ago at this point, where I talked about something similar, where I was like, I want to build a community. And this is back when I had like 200 subscribers or something. I was like, my goal is to build a community, build a community where, if, let's say I say one thing and let's say I misspoke or made a mistake or something, and then I come back in a follow-up video or even a month later or 3 months later, and I'm like, oh, I didn't really mean to say it like that. I meant like this. Or, oh, I think I said something that came out a little bit wrong. I meant to say this. It's like, I want that community, that audience where they they accept that, they believe that to be true. They're like, oh, okay, I gotcha, right? And it's not this constant like, you know, gotcha or whatever it is. Because again, I feel that same way with even other people in the comment section who will say one thing and they're like, oh, well, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to say like I meant to say it this way. You know, it's very much like a mutual friendship type relationship. That's very much way. That's why the people who I regularly reply, interact with in the comment section, the ones that are commenting very, very, very regularly, it's like I see them as like a foundational component of all of this, who I'm communicating with, and it's almost like a lot of them are the faces that I put on my videos when that I feel like I'm kind of talking to, because those are the ones that I'm interacting with so regularly. Just a handful of people that I've interacted with on the live stream and stuff like that. If they're Commanders fans or Eagles fans or whatever fans, it's like when I'm making a video, it's like I'm thinking of all those various conversations that I had. And so like the larger that gets, or the more solidified that gets, the more important maintaining that trust is to me. So yeah, it's frustrating because I would have thought something as so basic, or something as so basic as a press conference like this, as well as posting a video from like truly official sources, like truly, like we're talking about, like real massive conglomerate companies. Like you would think you would get something more reliable, and you don't always get that. So I wanted to use this moment to kind of highlight that, I guess, because I'm posting this video early in the morning. I'm recording it early in the morning too, technically, but I'm going to post this early in the morning as well. And then, depending on when you're watching this, like I'm going to have a ton of Commanders and Eagles videos and Bills and Chiefs videos and all of that. But it's like, we've already talked about this game so much, and this is like kind of another interesting layer to this all. And I'll also be posting a ton of videos on Saturday, but it's just, so much of it is so repetitive because, again, it's like there's only so much more to say, about these two teams. It's that's very, 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 very clear, which is why they start relying on random stuff like this. And so I just wanted to simply highlight it in my own way. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the powers that be who are trying to pit these two fan bases against one another, where they probably don't really need that much of a spark to do so, considering they've been rivals for the last however many years they've officially been in the same division together in NFL history. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.